If you tape half a ping pong ball over each of your eyes, shine a red light on your face, and then play static for a few minutes, you will lose your mind.
Yeah, that sounds like I'm gonna lose my mind. What's good, y'all? Welcome back to Live Fam. Okay, now today, bro, we got low poly shorts, bro. This is a recommended channel that you guys told me to react to, and yeah, I've actually meant to react to this channel a while ago, but I don't know, it just got lost in the playlist or whatever. But yeah, chat, we're gonna watch this. Honestly, it looks pretty goofy, and maybe some type of storytelling thing going on here. I don't know, bro. I mean, it literally says I tell stories, so that's it. You know what I'm saying? But this low poly guy, look, he might have low brain cells, bro. I don't know, bro. So without further ado, make sure to grab your popcorn. Let's see. Weirdest nuclear code proposal.
They would put the nuclear launch codes inside a capsule and then implant that capsule right next to the heart of a volunteer.
Bro, are we being that protective over it, bro? We doing a whole surgery to hide it?
To the heart of a
I mean, it is a bomb. You know what I'm saying? It is a bomb code, so it is very serious to do something like this, so I guess.
That person would be given a lifetime salary to walk alongside the president while carrying a butcher knife. If the time ever came to fire the missiles, the president wouldn't turn a key or push a button. Instead, he would have to kill the volunteer with his own hands to retrieve the codes. The idea was to force—
Wait, we can't just do a surgery? Hold on, bro. I was literally about to say, wait, this low-key seems like a good job, bro. You just get like one little surgery, have a code inside you, and then whenever the president needs it, maybe he cuts you open himself, maybe he goes to surgery. I mean, I'm sure they got something on standby. No, they gotta kill him? We gotta kill him?
Force the leader to feel the weight of one innocent life before taking millions.
Okay. So I get the point of it, but damn, that sucks for that guy, though. But I get the intention behind it. It's like, okay, if you're gonna use a bomb and take out as many people as you're gonna take out, well then you have to be responsible for this one person's life to make sure that you even want to do that. Okay, I get it, but still, damn. I used to believe this was a great idea until I remember it relies on politicians not being psychopaths. And yeah, that's most likely not true anyways. Imagine your job as being a moral dilemma. That's what I'm saying, like, damn. Bold of them to assume politicians aren't literal psychopaths. Very, very bold, bro. Feels like fucking 90% of them are. He wore upside down glasses for 124 days.
He put on special glasses that would make him see the world upside down.
Oh, I thought they were gonna make him special.
Upside down to see what would happen to his brain if he didn't take them off for 124 days. At first, he was helpless, constantly tripping over ceiling lights that appeared to be on the floor.
Yeah, that would be so terrible, bro. I feel like you could do this in VR though. Like in VR, just load a game, put the glasses on backwards or something, and just try to play like that. You'll just start tripping out, bro. Or even just oh no. I wonder if, because you know how the VR you can see the things that are in front of you. I wonder if you turn them upside down, is everything else gonna be upside down, or is it just gonna flip with it? Now that I think about it, I might try that.
That appeared to be on the floor and reaching for cups that weren't there. But by the third month, his brain had adapted and flipped the image back up so well that he could actually ride a motorcycle.
What?
But when he finally took the glasses off, the real world still looked upside down for him for a few minutes. So if you feed your brain a lie long enough, it eventually becomes your reality. I
mean, that is true, bro. That's true. That's how you know what I'm saying, that's how the world is nowadays. Feeds you a bunch of misinformation about shit, and then people see it and hear it so fucking much they think it's real, bro. But yeah, I mean, that's true with anything. You know what I'm saying? If your parents feed you a lie for your whole life, you're gonna think it's real. People around you feed you that, you're gonna think it's real and stuff. And yeah, if you repeat something so much, it can become true. Now you can use that to your advantage. Like I used to tell myself all the time, hey, I'm gonna be successful, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have a fan base, I'm gonna do all that shit. And back then that may be very delusional, but nowadays, I mean, look at us, bro. I mean, I ain't the biggest in the world, you know what I'm saying? We still got a lot of work to do and everything, but you know what I'm saying? I got you guys showing up to watch me have opinions on videos and shit, and that's like a complete blessing for me and stuff that I would dream of. Obviously, we got a lot more things to do, you know, you guys know I do music and stuff, and I kind of want to get into acting later on in life. I don't know. That's like a different thing, but you know, I just have a whole bunch of things lined up, things I want to do, aspirations, but just the fact that we even got this far, you know, I mean, it's a very low chance, and it happening was because I feel like I spoke it into existence. So yeah, you always got to speak things into existence, chat. This is the one thing that you can use it to your advantage. But yeah, it could be terrible because you know, if you're fed bad shit all the time, you start to believe it. That's why mental health is important. You're not supposed to allow people to control how you feel about yourself. Now, as much love as I get, there's like, you know, people that act stupid and say stupid shit because they want attention, they'll get it at home, bro. Just be honest here. You know what I'm saying? Those are the only type of people that hate online. But if I let their opinions and stupid shit get on my head, then I wouldn't be who I am. I wouldn't continue to be successful like I'm gonna continue to be successful. So yeah, chat, it could go both ways. You let bad stuff get in your head, you're gonna think bad stuff about yourself. You let good stuff be in your head all the time, you're gonna always feel good about yourself and do good. You know what I'm saying? You've never touched anything.
If you touch something and your atoms align in just the perfect way, there's an extremely low chance you could phase right through it like a ghost.
Wait, what? I could be like the Flash and just phase through things? I've always wanted to do that.
Right through it like a ghost. But this is statistically impossible. You see, atoms are surrounded by a layer of energy that pushes away other atoms like a magnet. As you press your hand against a surface, the atoms in your skin and the atoms in the object repel each other so strongly that they can never truly touch. But this creates a microscopic space that separates you no matter how hard you push. So you've never actually touched anything in your entire life. You've never touched grass.
Bro, I've never thought of this, bro. So me like literally touching my mic right now, I'm not actually touching it. It's the atoms pushing against my atoms, bro. Okay, this is starting to hurt now. But you guys get the point. What? Wait, is this actually facts though? Because
You've never touched grass, and she technically didn't cheat on you. But if you
Alright, bro, stop. Come on, bro. Don't be telling niggas that.
somehow force them to come in contact, they would fuse together and trigger a
God damn, that's what happened. It trigger a silent fart and just disappearing. At a subatomic level, what we perceive as touch is actually just electromagnetic repulsion. Every atom is surrounded by a cloud of negatively charged electrons. Because charges repel, the electrons in your hand push against the other electrons in an object long before they ever make contact, leaving a microscopic gap of empty space between you. However, according to quantum mechanics, these particles behave like probability waves rather than solid objects, meaning there is non-zero statistical chance that they could tunnel through the barrier of another object rather than bounce off. If you were to defy this repulsion and force the nuclei of the atoms to actually touch, you would overcome a Coulomb barrier and trigger nuclear fusion, releasing a massive amount of energy. Damn, bro, that's actually fucking insane to think about. Like, we really don't be touching shit, bro. Holy. Therefore, your honor, I in fact did not, according to this video, punch that child. Yo, everybody can say they didn't do shit in their life, bro. I never touched grass. I mean, chat, you can't say, we can't ever tell any of each other to go touch grass because we never touched it. We never touched it. We don't even touch the ground, bro. I mean, my feet, I'm just repulsing atoms from the ground, bro. Like, for real. How anglerfish do the thing. Wait, what you mean by that?
When a tiny anglerfish male finds a female he wants to mate with, he bites her immediately.
Oh, okay.
Fuses to her skin.
So he eats her ass, but he's digging in, though. He's going very deep. I mean, it's not just a metaphorical term anymore.
Locking him in place. His blood vessels then start connecting to hers, getting all his nutrients directly from her body.
Nigga, what? Is this not like a child action? Like, you know what I'm saying? Sucking on your mama's nipples or something like that? Like, why is he connecting his blood veins, bro?
From her body. His eyes fade, his stomach shrinks, and even his brain starts to break down. His organs begin to shut down. He doesn't need to eat or see anymore. And before you know it, he's basically a living reproductive organ. Whenever she's ready to release eggs, whatever's left of him provides sperm instantly.
So he gave up his life to be a ball sack, my nigga? He gave up his life to be her ball sack? Are we dead ass? Nah. Anglerfish, nigga, I'm finna be angry fish. Oh, fuck. Why would my life want to be like that, bro? As soon as I see the hugs, I turn into her dead? Like, no, that's not, no, hell no. Let me see the comments of this one. I could fix her, bro. See you next week. How I find bro next week. Yo, y'all so stupid, bro. The state I find homeboy in after he dates the Hello Kitty girl. True real man still exists. Yeah, I guess if you want to become someone's dead. Nose made from an arm.
It would take a flap of skin from the patient's arm and stitch it directly onto their mangled nose while it was still attached to their arm. They would
nigga, hell no. Why are we doing that? Nobody said to do that, bro.
Then forced the patient into a rigid leather harness that locked their arm against their face for weeks. You see, if they were to cut the skin off the arm before putting it on the nose, it would quickly decay and fall off because there's no blood going into it.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. So he's holding it here so that there's still blood traveling through and allow it to try to mend as a nose. But then what happens when you eventually want to cut it off?
By keeping the arm attached, the arm's blood supply kept the skin alive until it latched on and grew its own vessels. So by the
okay, so that's what they're depending on. They're depending on it to grow its own vessels, you know what I'm saying? And then so that cutting it off here will not just completely make it dead.
Time they cut the connection, they ended up with a brand new nose made from their own arm.
He's still ugly. All right, this technique is known as the Italian method. Taglicosi? I don't know. Developed in the 16th century to repair noses. The process involved raising a flap of skin from the patient's upper arm, specifically over the biceps, without fully detaching it, creating a pedicled flap that maintained its own blood supply. The surgeon would suture this living flap onto the patient's nasal cavity, and then bind the patient's arm to their head using a rigid system of bandages and harnesses to prevent any movement that would tear the connection. The patient remained in this immobilized position for roughly 3 weeks, 14 to 20 days, until the new skin has established a blood flow from the face, at which point the flap was severed from the arm and sculpted into a new nose. That's crazy. I really like how he's putting these descriptions in the comments, bro. This is really nice. It shows that he's doing research and knowing exactly what he's talking about. I legit thought this was a medieval torture method. For real, like this did not seem like fun and games. It's all fun and games till you gotta sneeze. Like, how are we supposed to just hold our, and we're supposed to hold it there for a long time because I'm sure it's not gonna create a blood vessel in just a day or even 2. I don't know, maybe it will. How long do you think that process would take, Chad? A cow with a window.
They cut a hole into the side of a healthy cow and fit a plastic ring with a lid into the opening, making a permanent window into its stomach. Once it heals, vets can open the lid and reach their entire arm inside. You see, the mush inside is...
Bro, how is this even safe though? Like, how did not completely bleeding out or puncture some type of organ in there to where it can't function?
You see, the mush inside is actually a gold mine of healthy bacteria. Knowing this, they would pull it out and feed it to a sick cow that's having trouble digesting food. This jumpstarts the sick cow's digestive system, saving its life.
What? Okay, now that I know it's for that specific purpose, hey, I'm kind of all for that. I mean, it doesn't seem, they cut a hole, that's gonna hurt, of course. I don't think they give them any sedative or anything like that, so it's gonna hurt, but it's for a good purpose, not just for nothing. I want it for nothing. I want his meat, you know what I'm saying? They've been doing this for decades. My mom is a vet and told me about it. It's kind of like how vet offices sometimes keep cats at the building floor for blood transfusions. Yeah, I've heard of that before, how they keep cats and stuff. So it makes sense, you know what I'm saying? And honestly, it's a good deed from the cow, so sure, he feels good about himself or herself. The Ganzfeld effect.
If you tape half a ping pong ball over each of your eyes, shine a red light on your face, and then play static for a few minutes, you will lose your mind.
Yeah, that sounds like I'm gonna lose my mind. That sounds like a torture method, bro. Why would I want some balls over my eyes, on my already eyeballs? Put some headphones on and like, what is the point?
Lose your mind on your face.
Oh, and then red light too. Like what?
And then play static for a few minutes. You will lose your mind. You see, this setup blocks out anything from the outside, overwhelming your senses and putting you in a state where your brain actually panics so much from the lack of information that it would start making stuff up. Your mind would try filling in the void with random images, hallucinations like horses in the clouds, or hearing voices in your head. Wake up.
That's actually insane, bro. Like your brain is not even technically shutting down. It's just literally panicking because it needs to relay information. Like if it doesn't do that, it's like a crackhead not having his crack, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like it's gonna end horrible, and it's gonna try so hard to relay information that's not even there, which obviously leads to hallucinations and stuff. That's why it literally when people do the self-deprivation where they block out light or sound and shit like that, it's literally so dangerous for your brain, bro, and it could actually cause it to get damaged because of how much work it's trying to do, how much shit it's trying to do without having anything there, you know? I don't know the exact science behind it, I just know it's super dangerous. Ferb, I know what we're doing today. That one unemployed friend on a Tuesday. I was all saying, like, who the fuck would even think about this? Oh, let me get a ping pong. Let me put some headphones on. Let me tape these ping pong to my eyes, actually. Let me put some headphones on and put some static noise and put red light on top of me. Like, that, yeah, that's gotta be unemployed things, bro. Ain't no way. Brain cells can play Pong?
They took hundreds of thousands of brain cells from humans and mice and placed them in a petri dish. They then wired those neurons to a computer running a simple version of Pong.
Wait, what? How is that possible though, bro? Like you could legit take cells out of someone's brain and use them for an experiment? That doesn't even sound like it's likely, bro. What?
Version of Pong. You see, they wanted to prove that even without a body, brain cells could learn from mistakes and solve solve problems. They received tiny signals telling them exactly where the ball was. If the neurons hit it, the system rewarded them with a clear signal they liked. But if they missed, the neurons were blasted with random noise they didn't like. It wasn't long before the neurons started to learn. In fact, this biological intelligence figured out the game faster than AIs trained the same way.
What? Wait, is this actually true though, bro? I've never heard something like this. That's fucking insane. Never realized your brain is basically a mini computer that just operates your body. No, that is a fact though, chat. Like, I always be thinking about this too. If we just think about it, just off of the regular shit that we do every day. You know what I'm saying? Or just how our brain just tells us to do certain things, sends signals when we're hurting or when something's wrong. Like, dude, our brain is literally the craziest computer of all time. Like, we think AI is crazy. No, our brain is fucking crazy. I mean, our brain led us to even develop anything about AI in the first place. You know, AI took its own form at some point in development. But dude, we still created that, bro. I mean, we created so many things as humans. Obviously, there's a lot of things, if you believe a higher being and stuff, that were created that weren't man-made and stuff. But just still, bro. Just even the basic functions of the things that we're supposed to do and be able to do. It's crazy to me. It's absolutely insane. Like, how much our brain has to work to function our whole existence. Everybody. I don't know, bro. It's just amazing to me. And learn from torture. Imagine gain consciousness only to be eternal Pong simulation. No mind to think, no voice to cry, suffering. Oh my gosh. And that's the thing I was thinking about too. If you taking somebody's brain cells, isn't that gonna affect them, bro? How is that just a normal thing to do? A lonely sunfish.
A giant sunfish at an aquarium suddenly stopped eating for seemingly no reason. It just floated around, rubbing against the glass like something was wrong. The staff checked if it was sick, but found nothing. That's until one of them noticed something strange.
What?
The sunfish only started acting like this after the aquarium closed for renovations, when no one was coming to see it anymore.
Oh, so was it sad?
This meant it wasn't sick. It was just lonely.
Wow.
Printed photos of people's faces, stuck them on uniforms, and placed them in front of the tank. The next day, the sunfish started waving its fins like it was happy to see them, and eating like never before.
What? That's actually, I mean, that makes sense though, man. I mean, some animals might not like that attention. They might feel better when it's closed. But in this case, you know, you get used to having all that company basically, and now it's just sad because it thinks it's literally all alone. I mean, anything could feel loneliness, I feel like. Okay, but the sunfish model is so cute. Barely any brain doesn't mean it can't feel emotions. Facts, bro. I feel like emotions is something that's universally felt between everything, to be honest. When the regression depression hits. I feel like in order to not feel emotions, your brain has to be so, like, the brain has to, like, not be able to function at all, pretty much. Literally 0 to, like, 5% function for real. Because there's no way, bro. I feel like everybody feels some type of emotion. The only way you don't feel it is if you can't even understand what emotion is in the first place. And that's when you technically don't feel it. But then at the same time, I feel like you still do. You just don't know you're feeling it at that point. I don't know. Ancient 30,000-year-old virus.
The scientists were drilling 100 feet into the Siberian permafrost. They
Damn.
suddenly hit a layer of ice that hadn't seen the sun in 30,000 years. Inside
What?
that frozen tomb, they discovered an ancient virus bigger than any other virus in the world. When they warmed it up in the lab, it woke up from its 300-century-long nap, and it immediately began to hunt and infect the microscopic amoeba nearby. Luckily,
Wow.
it didn't infect humans or animals.
Thank
so
God.
We don't know what else could be hiding under there.
Damn, bro. That's something I always think about too. Is like, you know, places that haven't been exposed to sun or anything in such a long time, or just anything underground. I feel like it has so much bacteria, so much viruses that we don't even know about, or that could randomly be released and stuff. Like, it's so crazy, bro. She is immortal, kind of.
She died over 70 years ago, but her flesh is still alive and has been growing non-stop ever since.
What you mean her flesh? She got a big dick?
It's been growing non-stop ever since.
Okay.
See, she went to the hospital in 1951 because she felt a painful lump inside her. Doctors detected she had a tumor and secretly sliced off a piece to study it. But when they put it in a petri dish, they stumbled upon a 1 in a million miracle. Instead of withering away after a few days like normal tissue, her cells kept dividing.
It kept
every day,
dividing?
effectively growing forever. Knowing this, they quickly took chunks of the tumor as it grew and shipped its cells to every major lab on the planet for
What
testing.
the
If you
hell?
took all the flesh that ever came from her, past and present, it would be as massive as one of the pyramids.
Bro, that's actually fucking insane. How is that possible? Like that, how is that possible? I don't understand that. Is that like a condition? Let's see. Henrietta Lacks passed away in 1951, but her cells never did. Known as HeLa, those cells possess a rare genetic mutation that prevents them from aging, allowing them to divide infinitely as long as they have a food source. While normal human cells die after a few divisions, HeLa cells have been growing nonstop for over 70 years, contributing to the polio vaccine, cancer research, and the mapping of human genome. Wow. Scientists estimate that over 50 million tons of her flesh have been grown since her death, meaning there is biologically more of her alive in laboratories today than when she was actually walking the earth. Bro, I mean, talk about leaving a mark, leaving a legacy, literally, in every possible way. Why Michael Jackson wore wigs? Wait, what?
As Michael Jackson was getting ready to step on stage, the crew was busy setting the pyrotechnics.
Oh wait, are they gonna talk about the incident that happened with her? Okay, let me see. Because I know.
The crew was busy setting the pyrotechnics that were supposed to go off safely behind him. But when he walked toward his mark, the effect suddenly triggered too soon, exploding on top of him before he was anywhere near ready. The blast sent a shower of sparks straight into his head, but he kept performing without realizing he was on fire. By the time the flames reached his scalp and people rushed over, the burns were already too severe.
Damn, bro.
A permanent bald spot that never healed properly and had to be covered with wigs and extensions until the day he passed away.
Yeah, Chad, that's what happened to him. I think it was even with his skin too, right? Most insane thing about the story is that this event was the exact midpoint of Michael Jackson's life. Yeah, bro, I remember like hearing about this. I had a feeling it was about his skin too. That's what I thought he was gonna talk about. I didn't know about his hair, but I did hear like his skin got burned and stuff too, which is why like he turned to make himself more lighter and stuff, his complexion. But anyways, bro, this is insane. Like imagine like your hair just getting completely burned off just because of a mistake of the fucking crew, and now you gotta wear wigs and stuff, bro. Well, it doesn't matter because wig or not, Michael Jackson had aura that nobody else had. And I'm a glaze all day. I don't give a fuck. That's the king of everything. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, bro, they really tried to smear my nigga's name, bro. Man. But we got people in the fucking FC files and shit still walking free, though, bro. But they trying to slander my nigga Michael Jackson's name, bro. Don't listen to nothing they be saying, bro. They was trying to frame him as a bad person with kids, all that shit. They don't know the real story, what was really going on, so fuck all of them. Lemon juice bank robbery.
Dan walked into the bank with lemon juice smeared all over his face. He paused for a moment at the door as if checking the cameras. Then he pointed a gun at the teller, demanded the money, and watched as it was counted. He grabbed the cash and walked out, confident he was in the clear. But later that night, police had crystal clear photos of
I don't know why. What the fuck is the lemon on his face for?
The robbery. When they showed him, he froze.
But I wore the lemon juice,
he said. Turns out
what?
That for some strange reason, he believed lemon juice made him invisible to the camera.
Yeah, I think he was just a little restarted. That might be the diagnosis for this.
Since it was also used to make invisible ink.
All right, bro. Yeah, his brain cells disappeared as well. Yo, ain't no fucking way. I thought it was invisible, bro. All right, y'all. That's enough of low poly shorts, bro. Let me know what else you guys want to react to, and I'll see you guys in the next one, man. Peace.